students of class 8. Today, the English lesson I am going to teach you one of the story, that is chapter number 8, a short monsoon diary written by Ruskin Bond. So before I go for the lesson in details, a few lines I would like to tell about the writer. Do you know about Ruskin Bond? Some stories, have you read it? I don't know you have read it or not. Ruskin Bond actually a very famous and prolific writer, and he is actually Indo-Anglian writer. So most of the writings you will find he is dwelling deep in the foothills of the Himalayas. Most of his stories you will find regarding the description of the sceneries or romanticism or in the natural portrait of scenery or panorama from the foothill of Himalaya, because he has spent most of his time in the foothills of the Himalaya, that is Terai region. You know what is Terai region? Terai region is the Himalayan region. Himadri, Sivalik, Terai, you must have read it in the geography, I don't know. So Terai is the short range hilly areas that is in the foothills of Himalaya. It's very beautiful places like Mussoorie, Dehradun, Simla. These are the places in the foothills of Himalayas, and it is called the Terai region. And these regions are actually so beautiful because of the dense forest, lot of animals are there, beautiful sceneries are there, and most of his time Ruskin Bond spent here only. Initially, he has taken birth in the place that is called Kasauli. Kasauli is in presently Himachal Pradesh. So after taking birth in the foothills of Himalaya, he has shifted from this place to that place in many places. His father was in Royal Air Force and he has shifted to Delhi. But unfortunately, at the age of somewhere 8 or 10, he has lost his father. And he has to shift from Dehradun sometimes to Mussoorie. These all places he has used to shift it, and his education he has completed in the Dehradun only. So this time he has seen the nature from the very close, and most of the stories you'll find in the description of the beauties of in this region only, Terai region. Some of the stories, a tiger in the tunnel, it was there in the previous ICC board. Now it has been changed now. One more story of Ruskin Bond is there in the present 10 board. A face in the dark. It's actually horror or hunting story. It is also there. Night Train at Deoli, another famous story. So this kind of many stories are there. A woman on the platform number 8. This sort of many stories he has written. The I Have It. It is the story of the two blind boys and girls. They both are fooling each other as if they could see each other. So this kind of romantic stories you can find a lot of stories he has described, and he has bagged many awards also, Sahitya Akademi Awards, Padma Shri Awards. So little background about Ruskin Bond I have given you. Some of the stories, some of you must have read it, and if you get time, these are the stories, few stories I told you, you can go through it. Okay. So Ruskin Bond is a very famous writer, and his description about the nature is very important, particularly the description of the foothills of the Himalayas. So one of the diaries, it is one sort of diary entries. He has written a short monsoon diary. What is the diary? He has described the changes which took place in the nature time to time. He has started writing from the entry of his diary from June 24th. How the season changes, how day to day the atmosphere changes, he has described. Let us see what is he has sketched in his the story on June 24th onwards. The first day of monsoon missed. Monsoon started raining and a lot of bubblings and the sprays of the water started falling, scattering all around. And it's strange how all the birds fall silent as the mists come, climbing up the hill. So all the birds are becoming still because it is raining heavily. Perhaps that makes the mist so melancholy. Melancholy means unhappy. Because of this heavy rainfall, it is around around the places are melancholy or sad. Not only does it conceal the hill, it is not only covering the hills or concealing the hill, it blankets them in silence too. Blankets them means it is covering with the silence because of rainfall. Only an hour ago, the trees were ringing with bird song. Lot of birds were chirping and the singing before just 1 hour ago. But now the situation is changed. Now the forest is deathly still. Deathly still means it is calm and quiet and still as if like the death. As though it were midnight. Even though it is not the midnight, but the situation and calmness and the stillness is just like midnight. Through the mist, Biju is calling to his sister. I can hear him running about on the hillside, but I cannot see him. You can hear the sound, but you cannot hear. Why you cannot? You can hear, but you cannot see him. Why you cannot see him? Because every places around that locality has been covered with the mist. Okay. Now June 24th, what happened? June 25th, what happened? Some genuine early monsoon rain, warm and humid. It is humid place, and not cold high altitude stuff we are having all the year. This kind of altitude, this kind of atmosphere you cannot see throughout the year. The plant seems to know it. Nature always knows what are the changes coming. So as for the changes of the nature, all the trees, plants, even the ferns, all the flowers, fauna, they start behaving and acting accordingly. And the first cobra lily rears its head from the fern as I walk to the bank and post office. When I was going to the bank and post office, I can see the flowers. It is raising its head from the fern. You know fern, it is kind of mosses and lichens. The mist affords a certain privacy. What is the privacy? Everybody cannot see me. You cannot see everyone because isolated and blanketed and concealed. A schoolboy asked to me to describe the hill station and the valley in one sentence. Somebody asked, can you describe the beauty of the hill or the hill station in one sentence? And what I could say? A paradise that must have been. It is, the scenery is just like the paradise, just like the heaven. It is such a heavenly atmosphere. Have you understood? Now see what happened on the June 27th, what he describes and what he writes in his diary. The rains have heralded. Heralded means it is calling or announcing the arrival of some seasonal visitor. Visitor, which kind of visitor? It is not the human being. Leopards and several thousand leeches. Leeches, they are the blood suckers. They take the bloods of the animals and as well as the humans. And the leopards, so they come out from the dense forest. Yesterday afternoon, the leopard lifted a dog from near the servants' quarter below the school. In the evening, it attacked one of Biju's cows, but fled at the approach of the Biju's mother, who came screaming imprecations. The leopard attacked Biju's cows. It was going to kill. But immediately Biju's mother came. She started shouting and cursing. And because of the hue and cry of his mother, the leopard ran away, left the place. And as for the leeches, I shall soon get used to a little bloodletting every day. Leeches will be attacking you and it will be sucking your blood anytime, anywhere. Understood? Now, on the other new arrival as the scarlet minivet. Scarlet minivet. What is scarlet minivet? Scarlet minivet, these are the birds. Female Sariolo, they are, what they are doing? Flirting silently among the leaves of like brilliant jewels. They are like the jewels. So much they are shining. Shining is so much. No matter how leafy trees, these brightly colored birds cannot conceal themselves. They cannot hide, even though they are trying to camouflage, but because of the radiant and because of the glazing color, they cannot be concealed by remaining absolutely silent. They sometimes contrive to go unnoticed. Along came a pair of drongos. So minivet and drongos are what? They are the birds. Unnecessarily aggressive. These drongos, these another birds, kind of birds. This is drongos. Another kind of birds, they are actually attacking the minivets without any reason. It's the habit of those qualities of the species, chasing the minivet away. They are not allowing the minivets to stay there. Have you understood so far? Now, come to the next page. A tree, a tree creeper moves rapidly up the trunk of the oak tree, snapping up insects all the way. So creeper is going up, and naturally along with the creeper, lot of insects are going. Now that the rain are here and there is no dearth of food for the insectivorous birds. Dearth means shortage. So lot of insects are there, so there is no shortage for the birds, those who are feeding on the insects. Understood? August 2nd. What happened on the August 2nd? August 2nd, what happened? All night, the rain has been drumming on the corrugated tin roof. What is corrugated? It is the ups and downs of the surface. That is the tin roof, corrugated roof, and the registered roof you have seen, ups and downs like the valleys. There have been no storms. Only it is raining. There is no storm, no thunder, just the steady swish of tropical downpour. It is falling down. Rainwater is falling down and falling down. It helps me to lie awake. It's not allowing me to sleep because of the sound. It does not keep me from sleeping. I am not being allowed to sleep because of lot of sound, because of the downpour of the rainfall. It is falling down on the rooftop and making a lot of clattering sound, and I cannot sleep. It's a good sound to read by. The rain outside and the quiet within. Inside I am alone, calm and quiet, and outside lot of downpour is there, lot of rainfall is there, and lot of sound and clattering sounds are there. So it is a contrast. Outside it is a lot of noisy, and inside it is silence. Although tin roofs are given to sprinkling unaccountable leaks, so the tin roof, what is there, it has some leakage also. What is falling inside? There is a feeling of being untouched by, yet in touch with the rain. So even though it is actually irony. What is the irony? The rain water is falling on the rooftop. What is the purpose of roof? To protect the people or protect the inhabitants from the outside. Rain should not reach inside. But because of the lot of leaks are there, lot of holes are there, rainwater which is not supposed to come inside, it is coming inside as well. Understood? Now August 3rd. Rain stops now. The clouds begins to break up. Clouds are breaking down. So naturally the sunrise will come. The sun strikes the hill on my left. Sun is rising from the left side. That means which side I am facing? I am facing which side? If my left side there is sun rising, that means I am facing towards south. Understood? Have you read one of the famous poem, Rime of the Ancient Mariner, written by T.S. Coleridge? I don't know. Sometimes sun is rising from here. Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Water, water no, everywhere. All that's what. This poem, have you read it or not? I don't know. Beautiful poem, Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Okay. So this is also irony here. Where I have been up to? Here. A woman, what is the scenery outside? Since the rainwater has been stopped, a woman has gone outside and she is chopping up the sticks. I heard the twinkle of cowbell. Cowbell is there on the neck of the cow. It is twinkling and tinkling. In the oak tree, a crow shakes the raindrop from the feathers and cows disconsolately. So, after the rain falling is over, the crow is shaking the feathers so that it can get dried up. Water drips from a leaking drain pipe, and suddenly, clean and pure, the song of whistling thrushes emerged like a dark, sweet secret from the depth of the ravine. Ravine is actually, what is ravine? Ravine is a valley, small valley. Okay. So one of the singing bird. What is the singing bird? Thrush. Thrush is another singing bird. It starts singing from the depth of the valley. Understood? So what are the birds you came across here? Drongos you came across, minivets you came across, and thrush is another songbirds you have came across. August 12, what happened? Again rain started, endless rain and a permanent mist. We have not seen the sun for 8 or 9 days. Continuously it is raining, just like the cyclone we observe here, sometimes 3-4 days. So here it was raining for continuous 8 to 9 days. Sun was not peeping through. Everything damp and soggy. Nowhere to go, you cannot go anywhere. Peace in the room. Look out of the window at a bubbling umbrellas. Some umbrellas are coming out, people are coming out sometimes, and that's why it is bubbling out. At least it could not cold. Come to next page. Can you see the wildflowers here? The hillsides are lush of late monsoon flowers begin to appear. Lot of flowers started appearing. These are the flowers you can see here. Can you see? What are the flowers? Wild balsam, dahlias, begonias, and ground orchids. These kind of flowers are coming out. On August 31st, this is the entry. What we can see? August 31st. It is the last day of August, and the last monsoon growth has reached its peak. Lot of rainfall. The seeds of the cobra lily you have seen in the first page, it was raising its head. Now, what is the condition of the cobra lily? The seeds of the cobra lily are turning red and signifying that the rains are coming to end. Season has given the message the rain is going to stop now, and the flowers and the ferns are started behaving accordingly. Wildflowers, these are the flowers, started appearing. What are the flowers? Dahlias, balsam, dahlias, begonias, and ground orchids. These different kinds of flowers started coming out, and the color of the the cobra lily also changing. Why? Because rain is going to stop now. In a few days, the ferns will start turning yellow. Since the rainy season is going to end, and the ferns and the mosses and the lichens, they're also going to change the color. But right now, they are still firm, green, and upright. Time has not yet been ripe for them for changing. Ground orchids, mauve ladies' slippers, and the white butterfly orchids put on the fashion display on the grassy slopes of the land road. Wild dahlias, red, yellow, magneta, rear their heads from the rocky crevices where they have been taken hold. Crevice means it is the gap in the rocks. Okay, from there they have grown and they are oozing out. They are raising their heads. Snakes and the rodents flooded with out of their holes. They are now coming out. So far they have taken shelter in the holes. Now they are coming out because they know further rainfall is not going to take place. They took shelter in the roof and attics and the godowns. A stew, weak of eyesight, blundered about the rooms, much to the amusement of the children. They cannot see. The rodents, they cannot see. Do not kill it, admonishes their grandmother. What grandmother says? Don't kill the rodent. Chuchundars are lucky. They bring money. It is the belief they have. These people, they believe the rodents and the chuchundars not to be killed because they bring the lucks, good lucks. And sure enough, I received a check in mail not a very large one, but welcome all the same. We have gone straight from monsoon into winter then. Snow at a higher altitude, and after an evening hailstorm, sorry, it is a hailstorm, it is the falling of the small droplets of snows. The sky and the hills are suffused with the beautiful golden light. So, this is the entry up to October 3rd. This much is enough for the day. Another little portion is left that I'll teach you later along with the discussion of the questions. Okay. So far I have discussed all the lines of the story and each step by step what are the changes came in the nature and day wise what the story has been elaborated by the author, and he has given the vivid description of the changes which he has noticed during his stay in the places. So these descriptions are changes of the nature. Okay. So have you understood how the monsoon, what was the condition of the monsoon in the hilly areas, when the monsoon is going to stop, when the another changes coming, along with the changes of the atmosphere or the nature, how the atmosphere started behaving, and all the floras and the faunas, means all the plants and the animals, how they started behaving according to the change of nature. Have you understood? Okay. If you have any doubts so far, whatever the lessons I have taken, whatever the diary entries I have discussed so far, if you have any doubts so far, you can ask me. Okay.